Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we will study sampling and sampling techniques which is used in research methodologies or thesis and in environmental chemistry and other subjects of environment. But before starting the video, if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe the channel, like the video and do comment on the video if you want to study another topic. In this video, we will study what is sampling, what is target population, what is sample, how large or small sample should be, sampling methods and its types. So my question is, while working in a lab, do you take whole of the acid bottle to study titration, or do you take some of the millimeters? If you take some of the millimeters, why do you do it so? Why can't you take all of the reactants instead of? It is because that we use small amounts of everything. That small amount is our sample. We are sampling this, and sampling is the process of selecting a representative group from the population under study. While, for example, if you are eating something, you just eat a bite to check the taste. You do not eat it entirely. So this is sampling. If you want to study something, do you take a few amounts of samples or do you take a lot of it? No, we take some of it, and that sum that is interesting to us is our target population. So target population is the total group of individuals from which the sample might be drawn. Like if we are studying soil, we cannot completely study whole of the soil. It is very impossible. So we take some amount of it, and this amount which is interesting to us is our target population of soil. We do not take whole of the amount of everything. We take it in small amounts to study which is representative of all of it. So a sample is a group of people who take part in the investigation. The people who take part in an investigation are referred to as participants. Generalizability is a very important concept that refers to the extent to which we can apply the findings of our research to the target population we are interested in. Now the question is, how large our sample should be. It actually depends on how large the population we are dealing with. If the population is very large, the sample should be large. If the population we are dealing with is small, the sample should be not very small, but it should be enough to make a representative sample. So the point is, the sample should be representative. The size of the sample depends on its representation, that it is enough to cover the details. So now, purpose of sampling. While testing a pizza or checking its taste, do you actually eat whole of the pizza? Do you? Obviously you can't. So the purpose of sampling is to get the details of entire population via its sample. So often while cooking something, we taste a pinch of it to get the idea of whole of the dish. So if we have to sample soil, water or any subject, we get a tiny sample of it to get idea of whole of that population. If we are interested in a village, we will interview some of persons. We cannot interview entire village, so some of the persons will give the idea of that village. So this is the purpose of sampling, to have a knowledge of everything via a sample. Sampling methods. There are basic two sampling methods: probability sampling and non-probability sampling. Probability sampling has further 4 types, and non-probability sampling has also further 4 types. We often go to shops. Sometimes we know actually what we want. We have a selection criteria. For example, we know what price we are getting at. We know what fabric we need. We know that what budget we have. We know that what quality we want. We know that from which shop or which brand we want a fabric. So this is our selection criteria. Sometimes we go as planned as that, and this is probability sampling. This is a method that selects random members of a population by setting a few selection criteria. These selection parameters allow every member to have the equal opportunities to be a part of various samples. Non-probability sampling. Sometimes we visit shops, sometimes if we want a phone, we went to a phone shop, but we do not have a selection criteria. We do not know which MBs, GBs, or what kind of memory card, what kind of camera result we want. We just simply go there and search there what to do. So this is not planned much. So this sampling is non-probability sampling method. It is based on researchers' ability to select members at random. This sampling method is not fixed or predefined selection. It is a process which makes it difficult for all elements of a population to have equal opportunities to be included in a sample. Random sampling. Random, in which we select something randomly. For example, out of A, B, C to up till Z, we can select Z, A, B, F, any number we want. Have you ever taken a lottery ticket? You won a lottery ticket randomly. Random numbers are selected for it. So, a random sampling is a type of probability sampling where everyone is in the entire target population has an equal chance of being selected. Sometimes we cook a custard. What does it require? It requires stirring at regular intervals, and there are some of the experiments in lab in acid digestion that require stirring at regular intervals. So this is systematic sampling. Using systematic sampling method, members of a population are chosen at regular intervals of a population. It requires selection of a starting point for the sample and sample size that can be repeated at regular intervals. This type of sampling method has a predefined interval, and hence this sampling technique is the least time consuming. For example, a researcher intends to collect a systematic sample of 500 people in a population of 5,000. Each element of this population will be numbered from 1 to 5,000. Every 10th individual will be chosen to be a part of the sample because the formula is total population divided by sample size. Is 5,000 by 500, we get 10. In this, we have a population of 12 and we want a population size of 4. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. So every third person sample is taken. Sometimes it is necessary to use demographic parameters such as age, location, sex, etc. In this way, we often categorize human beings or the population we are searching. So this is cluster sampling. That is a method where the researchers divide the entire population into sections or clusters that represent a population. Clusters are identified and included in a sample on the basis of defining demographic parameters. For example, if the government of United States wishes to evaluate the number of immigrants living in the mainland US, they can divide it into clusters on the basis of states such as California, Texas, Florida, Colorado, and Hawaii. The way of conducting a survey will be more effective as the results will be organized into states and provide insightful immigration data. So whenever immigration or such demographic characters or parameters are required, cluster sampling is used in such. There are various social, economic, and religious classes or societies in a country. For example, if a researcher wants to analyze the characteristics of people belonging to different annual income divisions, will create data according to annual family income. For example, one group having 10 to 20,000 and the next having salary of 30 to 40 and the third category being above lakhs. So this is stratified random sample in which the population can be divided into smaller groups that don't overlap but represent the entire population together. Do you know what normal body temperature is? 37 Celsius, yes. Degree Celsius, you all are right, but what made you think that it is? Or who was the first person who derived that this is the normal temperature on which a person can work normally? Or do you know what a normal BP is? How do you know all of it? So this is quota sampling. Quota sampling is selection of members. In this sampling technique happens on the basis of preset standard. In this case, as a sample is formed on the basis of specific attributes, the created sample will have the same attributes that are found in the total population. It is an extremely quick method of collecting samples. Some target of interest population and population having particular characteristics of interest are taken in this, and these are studied. Mostly biological samples are studied in this way. For some people of particular age, particular characteristics are studied in this. For example, if we study kidney failure, what causes kidney failure, some particular group, alcoholic, smoking, these 3 or 4 groups are compared with the normal control group who does not have that characteristics, and that's how the data is collected, that which characteristic yields more kidney failures. Some kind of universal problems, for example COVID-19, can be interviewed on the roads, on streets, on malls, and political conditions also can be interviewed like that, can be asked like that. So this sampling is convenience sampling. This method is dependent on the ease of access to subjects, such as surveying customers at a mall or passengers by on a busy street. It is usually termed as convenience sampling, and it's carried out on the basis of how easy is it for a researcher to get in touch with the subjects. Judgmental sampling. This is very interesting because you see it in your daily life. You sometimes pass, you sometimes fail. There is a professional judge. Your teacher is a judge in that. So in judgmental or purposive sampling, the sample is formed by the discretion of judge, purely considering the purpose of study along with understanding of target audience. So sometimes it happens in this research that the judgment is biased. For example, in your as you can see, sometimes you think that your teacher is following favoritism, so he is considering a student good on the basis of his or her liking. So this system is biased. Sometimes you ignore a large population and sometimes you consider it more. So sometimes you want to study murderers, terrorists, detectives, anything like that. Snowball is a sampling method that is used in studies which need to be carried out to understand subjects which are difficult to trace. In this video, we studied what method can be used for which type of research. It could be, we also studied sampling, target population, sample, how large sample could be or should be, or sampling methods and types. I hope this video is clear. So till the next video, stay curious. Bye.